Hey everybody, welcome back to another windy and cool day in southern Texas. Today I'm trying to winterize the RV because here it does get into the freezing area on the temperature gauge, and where this was previously it never froze. So I don't think it's ever been winterized. I asked the previous owner and he had never done it, so I don't have the books for it. They were sort of misplaced in the move. We'll probably find them eventually when we're not looking for them. And so what I've done is, I did what everybody does. I looked online and see what other people are doing. And so basically what you need to do is you need to shut off the cold water supply to the water heater, because you don't want to have the antifreeze in the water heater, because I guess that stuff just doesn't heat up real well. You definitely do not want to use automotive antifreeze. You want to use RV antifreeze. And I got mine at Walmart. It was pretty cheap. It wasn't a big deal. And it was actually in a place where it doesn't freeze. So go figure. Anywho, so I'll put you guys in here. This is where I found the bypass valve for the hot water heater. It took me a while opening cabinets and lifting up panels and whatnot, and I finally found it. The water heater was drained previously. This is the outdoor shower. Well, let me show you what I did, and I'm not going to say that this is correct, but I've got pink water coming out all the faucets, so I guess it can't be that bad. What I did is I bought one of these handy dandy pumps and hooked it up to the city water supply. Open up a valve, and unfortunately this just created pressure. So what I did is I turned on the pump, and the pump, in association with this, pumped everything through all of the cold water faucets. Now I do have two drains over here, and I believe what you're supposed to do, where are they? Here they are, right under here. I'll show you guys. Yeah, that's my drains. And I believe what you're supposed to do is, after you've pumped all this stuff through, is to open those drains and let everything drain out that can drain out. And then what's left in this gallon, then you want to come over here and you want to pour it down each sink. Then that way, it actually smells pretty good too. That way, the water that's in the P-trap won't freeze, in theory. So there you go. So I'll come in and I'll pour some water in here, and I'll pour some, see, that's nice and pink in there? That's perfect. That's what's supposed to happen. And we have a nice little tub here for, well, a tiny person. But it's a tub and it's a shower. And I got pink water coming out of the shower, so I know I'm good there. And then here in the other sink area, we had pink water coming out, as well as in the kitchen we had pink water coming out. So if this thing freezes, I got nothing else. I guess I'll be replacing pipes. Those pipes actually look quite sturdy. They are fairly thick-walled pipes, both cold and hot. So I'm not going to say that freezing is a good thing for these, but it's definitely a bad thing. But I think I'd do okay, actually. So I need to remember to come in here into the other sink and make sure and pour a little bit down there. As far as the refrigerator goes, nothing really to do with that. We've cleaned it up real good. It's a nice size refrigerator, and after 18 years, it still works. Microwave, nice little microwave. Let's see, what is the wattage on this thing? 1,000 watts. For a small microwave, that's a lot of watts. That's pretty good. There's where your microwave plugs in. I've got some flashlights, carbon monoxide, and smoke detectors that'll be mounted before our first trip. This is our stove that I'm going to say never got used. Well, I'm going to say it got used very, very rarely. See, I bought 2 gallons. There's the other one. What I'm going to do while I have you here with me is just pour it down the sink. And yeah, I think I did what I'm supposed to do. See, there was still pressure in there. So yeah, turning on the pump ran the fluid through the pump and into the cold water lines, except for the water heater. And that's exactly what you want to do. Exactly what you want to do. I even got some pink stuff out of the outside shower here. And I definitely need to get a new hose for that. One that's easy on, easy off. Because if you're outside working in the mud and whatnot, you probably want to hose off before you come in. So I'll just put this back in the box it came in, and we'll pour a little juice down the sink. We don't need. Yeah, we went shopping for some things for the RV, you know, plastic cups, plastic plates, bowls, and whatnot. A set of silverware. You know, you just think, all right, get up in the morning, what do? Have a shower. We need soap, we need towels. You know, you just go through your day. What do you normally do? And what are the things you're going to use? Well, you're going to use the same things in the RV. So, yeah, just about a cup in there. That was maybe a little more, I don't know. But see, this pumped the pink liquid into here. I'll put a splash more in. There we go. We're going to put a splash in the tub. There we go. And I think I've probably used more than what I really needed to. But I'm a little shy of having my sinks not work because they froze because I didn't put enough in. For $3, it's certainly worth using a little extra, I think. So there we go. Nice bamboo cutting board. I tell you, fellas, you can go to Marshall's or Ross. I don't know if Bed Bath & Beyond is still in business in your area. It shut down in our area. Anyway, you can find stuff there, even better price than at the online websites. So think about it. If you're going to get an RV, this is what you have to go through for the winterization process. I'm going to go release the pressure on those fittings down below. If I've got antifreeze in my gray tank, I don't care. I'm not draining it. I had already drained the gray tank and washed out the black tank. Hadn't been used in 6 years, so it was not a big deal. It was emptied prior and remained empty. So there we go. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll be doing some more RV stuff when it becomes RVing weather. Right now it's start of the cold season here. We're going to be headed out and go to a warmer climate for the next 4 months or so, and then we'll be back and hopefully take this rig out to the beach here in southern Texas. Yeah, do a little bit of camping. Maybe get a little plot of land in Tennessee somewhere where we can put an RV pad and get some utilities to it and have like a little getaway spot, just off-grid getaway. For what we paid for this rig here, I'm very, very, very pleased with everything. The hot water heater works, the generator works, all the plumbing works, the lights work. We had some mishaps on the way home, and that was my fault. I should always trust myself and trust others, but verify, and I didn't do that. Those tires had been sitting in the sun for a few years and hit something on the road on the way home and bam, tore up the side of the rig. So I've ordered all the parts, most everything's in. USPS, man, you got to get on your game here, because I ordered a piece of trim. I'll show you guys. We'll come over here. I ordered a piece of trim. It's 8 feet long. It came in this tube. Well, the tube, the cap of the tube was gone. It was taped up. I got it home. Even the guy at the post office says, "Man, this is pretty light." I said, "Yeah, it's probably aluminum." I got it home. I opened it up. Only thing that was in it, the plastic covering for the trim. There's no trim in there. The darn box was empty. So I called them up. They gave me a quick refund. I said, "I'd rather have the trim instead of the refund." "No, we'll give you a refund." I said, "All right." So I ordered it elsewhere. Had to pay a little bit more money, but it's on the way. So once we get back in March, we'll work on the rig. We'll get it cleaned up a little bit better, get everything working. We got the generator working. It's been winterized. Basically run it with the valve off and burn the fuel out of the bowl, and then that way that fuel doesn't rot in the bowl. So I don't know if I showed you guys this yet, but this is what I did after the fact. Let's see if I can get this off one-handed. So after the fact, I came back and I put in a fuel filter and a valve. And that is a second fuel filter. And that zip tie moment right there, if your fuel filter is in the way of hot stuff, just kind of move it out of the way with a zip tie. And then I put the valve in and then ran the engine, and at some point after running it, because these things like to be run, I shut it off. No, I didn't shut it off. I shut the valve off for the fuel, and then it burned all the fuel out of the bowl, and it hopefully won't turn to varnish in there. So there we go. Take my little fitting off of here, and then put the cap back on. Now this is where you fill your holding tank, and this is where you hook up to shore water. And I have a pressure reducer that goes on there. It sticks out about that far. And then to winterize it, you put this thing on and pump it through. I thought the pump would create a vacuum and push this through. It did not. It did not push the antifreeze through. So I used the pump manually. I even started with my Harbor Freight siphon hose. So, yep. All right. I've gone on long enough about winterizing. I think those of you who have rigs already know how to do that. I just wanted to share my experience of a first time winterizing. The rigs I've had in the past, I've lived in places that didn't freeze, so it didn't matter. There we go. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate y'all very much. Come back and see us again real soon. We're going to have videos on various vehicles we're building. We have the police car, which is going to be a drag and drive car. And this is the parts car that I'm going to be pulling the motor out in the next couple of days, getting the heads off and send them to the shop so that when I get back in March, they'll be ready and all I'll need to do is assemble it. Bought a bunch of speed parts, BTR Racing. They were very good, very helpful. Having never done an LS before, they helped me out with what I needed, which I basically knew what I needed, but they helped me out with a couple of little minor details that Usually don't show up on other people's videos. So there we go. That's what we got coming down the pipeline. Thank you very much once again, probably for the third time now. I appreciate you all watching. Come back and see us again really soon.